We want to do our top 3 biggest games then, and then
we'll
close with that.
Yeah, we'll close out with top 3 biggest games. Obviously, the March Madness games are going to be near the top there, but we'll look beyond that for some of our games.
For this, we're going to do top 3 regular season games.
We'll focus on the regular season. Post game speaks for itself.
Just like our
speaks for itself.
Yeah, just like our podium, it's a diverse segment. I took mine as regular season defining games, stuff that gave the team momentum, helped them realize that they're a team that can win. Mm-hmm. That's the way I took mine. I'm not sure how you did yours, but
sure.
Do you want me to start? Or you want to start?
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Start at 3.
Yep.
Assuming? Okay, so
we'll trade threes.
My number 3 most defining game is the win against Xavier, 78-76. This is a game that we talked about it. Xavier's a great team. They're a tournament team very often. They have a lot of good players, big recruits, a lot of big transfers. So for us to go into that game that we're being played to come to, win that game, I think that just interjected this team with confidence after they had lost a couple heartbreakers to some Big Ten opponents where they hung around for a while. They had lost to Drake. This was a game that helped this team, I think. If they didn't win this game, I'm not sure if they win the Horizon League. This game, the amount of confidence I think that this team got from this game is just to a level that we can't verbalize, because I think that it helped them really, really realize they are good, they can be great, and we saw them be great this year. So that is my number 3 biggest game.
For me, it's not that I don't think the Xavier game is my number 3. I'll just trying to pick a different one here, but for me, I would say, and to kind of group them together, the Cayman Islands Classic.
Yeah,
the way that they, right before the Xavier game, to be able to win 2 of the 3, and we were talking about it before. As we were going through the whole season, but just to show the depth of the team and to show that it's not going to be like the Bahamas trip last year where it ended up spilling over into the next games and being like a loss that turned into 2, 3, 4. Yeah. This one, you got your wins, you got your big like depth pieces showing up and doing their thing. I think that was even a precursor to that Xavier game. Helps get them momentum going into that Xavier game to get them going and to prove that they're a high level team.
Yeah. For number 2, I have the second game win against Youngstown State. First or second one?
At home.
Second one. Yep. Second one. We were at home.
All right.
The Youngstown State one. For a second, I was like, do I have the first? No. It's the second one. The second one, because I know we talked about it a little bit, so I'll make it quick, but that was a game where we're coming off the road. We just beat IUPUI. Trey is sick. Chris is getting over his sickness still. Yeah. We're missing some key guys in terms of, their level of productivity in terms of what they're going to be able to do. Everyone played, but those guys, obviously, they're not going to be what they usually are. That's a game where we won with defense. We talked about how we can win with offense and defense. That was a defensive game. It kind of put the rest of the league on notice. I think it also helped the team realize, hey, we can beat teams either way. We just beat the number 2 Horizon League team defensively after less than a couple weeks ago. We beat them offensively. It shows how diverse they are and how they can adapt. It was a great game for Chris and DQ and Blake. So that's why I've got that one as my number 2.
For me, I got my number 2 being the Detroit Mercy game at home.
Oh, because senior night?
Listen, everyone's going to look past it because that team stunk, but they were a lot better. Listen, statistically, they were better than IUPUI, and IUPUI had a slightly better record than them.
By, what was it, 1 game, 2 games?
One or 2 games, but Detroit Mercy was better than their record.
Sure.
Not saying much, but they were better than their record, and they showed up for that rivalry game. They made it a very close game, like we were talking about.
As a fan, it'd be an entertaining game.
Yeah, a very entertaining game, packed house. You got the regular season championship. We got to cut down the nets. That whole ceremony, senior night, that game it had so much weight, and it was a perfect ending for the regular season.
Absolutely. And then for me, for number 1, I have the win at Milwaukee. You've got that Minnesota trip that you're doing and everything, or Wisconsin, excuse me, not Minnesota. You got the Wisconsin trip you're doing. That's a double overtime one after just having a game less than 2 days ago. Golke, 27 points. Townsend, 21. 13 of 14 from the free throw line. Absolutely insane stat right there. 13 of his points came from the line. That's incredible. Lampman, 17 points. That's Baru's 17 rebound game. It was just, I think it was one of their most complete games this year. Not in terms of playing well from the start to the finish, but in terms of everyone doing something. I don't know if there's a game on the box score the rest of this year where everyone played so well and tallied up stats like that.
Definitely.
It's just everybody from your starters to your low bench. Everyone played so collective, and they understood it was, a double overtime game, digging deep in the gas tank. They squeaked it out. It was a phenomenal game as a team, and I think that one helped them do a lot. And like I said, after that game, they win 14 of their next 16 games.
Yeah.
An absolute heater that they were on, and I think it really, really just defined the rest of the season as they went along. Gave them a lot of energy and a lot of momentum heading into the rest of that season as they closed it out.
And for my gold, I'll say the away Wright State game where we won 74-60, because not only because we were there and we broadcasted it, and the Nutter Center is a great place, and Wright State is a very great team, but to be able to show that you can take a nuclear level of offense and bring them down to your level. It was the first game I went to and looked at when the Kentucky matchup was announced, because it's a very similar team, and it was kind of like you have proof.
Yeah.
Like right there, Oakland can beat a glass cannon high scoring team like Wright State. Because the when you look at the top scoring teams in the country, it was, I forget who was number 1, but Kentucky was number 2. Wright State was number 4.
Yeah, they're right there.
So like you have that familiar competition where you beat them by holding them close, and you got smoked when you didn't. So to be able to learn how to play that Kentucky game through that Wright State matchup, specifically the win in Dayton, I would say was the biggest regular season game of the year because of what it meant in the postseason.
Yep, absolutely.
So Drew, listen, this review with Drew has been an absolute wild ride. So has this basketball season, and we really appreciate you guys following along with us, not only on the GioMoShow, but with WXOU Sports, with our broadcasts and our live streams, and you guys being able to participate and see it all right here on WXOU Sports. It melts our heart, and we have nothing but appreciation for you, the fans. And from Giovanni Moshieri, from Drew Allison, here's to next season on WXOU Sports.